The technique that I'm about to show you and guide you through is called the release technique. The original founder of this methodology is called Lester Levinson. So credit goes to Lester Levinson. Back in the 1950s, Lester Levinson lived in New York, in America, and had a very stressful life by the sounds of how the story goes. The story goes that he had been told by his doctor that he didn't have long to live. The man at the time was not very old, he was in his 40s, but he put so much pressure on himself and on his heart that his doctor thought he was going to only have a matter of months left. Lester decided, shocked by this news of course, to take some time to do whatever he could, of course, to detox his body from these stresses that were going to end his life. And he managed to do it. In a way, he cracked the Enigma code as such. And he found a way of releasing negative thinking, negative feelings from his past and the stress that had built up in him to give him that condition. And he lived to a ripe old age. So that was Lester Levinson who created the fundamentals of this process that I'm about to run through with you. However, after Lester Levinson, we must give credit also to a man called Larry Crane. Larry Crane really devised the technique and methodology that I'm about to work with you now. So Larry Crane created his version of the release technique that I'm about to go through with you now. Now, in a moment, this video will change into an audio. Watch it and listen to it the same way. Instead of me on the screen, there'll be a screensaver while you listen to an audio track where I will guide you through it. Now, before we start the release technique, go ahead and find a comfortable sitting position. That's it, where you can sit with good posture, but feel comfortable at the same time. Ideally, listen through headphones for the best sound experience. Good. Now, what I want you to do, as you sit comfortably and listen to my instructions, is start to bring to your mind and your body something negative that has been affecting you. That's it. Take a moment to consider something that's stressing you in your life at the moment. Something that brings you stress and worry. Or maybe you even already have feelings of stress or anxiety present to you already in this moment. I don't know. However, if you're already having those feelings of stress or worry, just notice how they feel. If you don't have feelings yet, just allow yourself to think about a present concern and allow those feelings to rise. That's it. Good. You're doing fine. Just start to notice what happens in your body as you focus on those negative thoughts. Do you feel any tensions? Or perhaps something else? Perhaps the stomach is gripping? Or you have feelings in your chest? Or a tightness or tensions elsewhere? This is in a way your own stored code for things that are bothering you. Good, okay. Now, as you notice that feeling or those feelings, I want you to rate how intense those feelings are in this moment now. Rate those feelings on a scale of 0 to 10, with 10 being the highest imaginable. Where are they now? The feelings inside you now. Give them a rating. Okay, well done. Now, I know this may seem counterintuitive in a way to give rise to negative feelings, but we're about to apply a process called the release technique, as you know. So stay with it. You're doing fine. Let's go for it. Pay attention to those feelings. Notice how they feel. Really put your mind into them. Pay attention to the details of those feelings. And what I want you to do is say yes to those feelings. Literally say the word yes, Y-E-S, yes, to those feelings. Say it out loud.
Good, and say yes to those feelings some more. That's it. Focus on those feelings and say yes some more. Keep going, saying yes and yes more and more to those feelings in your own time now. That's it. And can you say yes to those feelings some more? Again, really pay attention to those feelings where they are, whether they're in your chest or stomach or in your throat or somewhere else. Pay attention and say yes to those feelings. Yes, yes. Okay, and just pause for a moment and re-rate those feelings. Now, on that scale of 0 to 10, now what level of intensity are they at? Sometimes it could take a little longer, but most frequently the feelings have already started to reduce. Sometimes feelings can actually rise after the start because there's more to be processed, and it's kind of like your mind offering up an opportunity to process more negative feelings through. The thing to do if that's the case is to stay with it. When I've applied this technique one-on-one with clients, sometimes the feelings go up as they start coming in, and then they start to fall off increasingly until they dissolve. And you might have experienced a rise in your feelings, or you might have already experienced a sense of the feelings starting to lose their power, as if they're sort of dissolving more and more as you keep saying yes. The thing here is that we no longer trap the negative energy left of those negative emotions. What we were doing before was resisting it, and we're allowing it to do what it's supposed to do, which is to move. Rather than being resisted, we're allowing it to move through us and leave only with us the useful learnings that can help us to move forwards with greater wisdom. Negative emotions are really messengers trying to help us and to leave us wiser and richer for our experiences, as opposed to paralyzing us by them. And when we acknowledge the feelings and say yes to them, we often find that we can not only deal with them, but our minds can process them. So imagine a negative emotion as if it's a gift disguised in ugly packaging. That's the negative feelings. And when we first say yes, we're pulling the ribbon off, and then when we say yes again, we're pulling off the paper and then unpackaging the inner lessons. These emotions are the packaging that we're trying to avoid opening in our lives usually. But inside, we're not left with anything that would hurt us. Humans can purge and release and move on with positive learnings from even negative experiences. So, enough said. Right now, you may feel satisfied that you've had a sample of this and you get the idea of it, or you might like to do some more of this straight away. If those feelings have risen or haven't dissolved quite yet, then keep going. So I will leave the background sound going on for a few more minutes longer, and you can keep doing the releasing process. So if you're choosing to do more right now for the remainder of the time, continue to focus on those feelings. Notice where they are and how they are. Now and then pause and re-rate on the scale of 0 to 10 how intense they are. And then come back and keep streaming the yeses. Yeses going on, targeted at those feelings, as if to say yes to them. Bring it on. Come on, I can cope. Bring your message to and through me. That's it. So I respectfully now leave you with some time just for you to continue the process.